I find that very interesting, and again I'm looking forward to see how it develops, because it will eventually bring this product into competition with another group of products that are dominating the European market at the moment, and I'm talking about the gas boiler or the gas condensing boiler, and especially Bosch is a leader in that technology, and sometimes my own feeling was that they have put the brake a little bit on developing components or other products that would become a competition. Now I have checked your website yesterday again, and you position the gas absorption heat pump, the blue Robo machine actually, in direct competition with gas condensing and gas boilers for large and very large applications. Do you think that there is a significant shift in products sold from gas technology, standard gas technology, to gas absorption heat pumps?
Also when you are referring then to bigger systems, there our condensing boilers are then mostly in cascades. They are for commercial use, and also there it is beside the topic total cost of ownership. There I need a benefit, otherwise why should in that case not a normal end customer but a commercial guy should invest into this technology. But also there we expect sooner or later that legislation will come and force even in this segment the use of renewable energy, and for that one the gas absorption heat pump is just a logical next step, and maybe even in these larger configurations then easier to set up. But it is always the same. It is, we are having here a little bit of improvement, not a little bit, but a good improvement in the efficiency, but unfortunately also some addings in cost. And if it is not together with a market development program plus legislation which is forcing us, then it will not happen.
Okay. Yeah, well, we will see that. Mr. Pininfarina, apart from the design issue, what other competencies will Pininfarina bring to this project that can make us expect considerable advancements in the future?
We will also be part of the technical development in terms of noise, vibration, and aerodynamics. So in the prototype phase, we will use our wind tunnel. That the wind tunnel is the old name, or the Galleria del Vento. No, it's the old name, but now actually the name of this laboratory is Center of Aerodynamics and Aeroacoustical Research, so CNRAA, because we can test the noise, the vibration, and the airflow in the machine. So in the early phase of the project, so this will be very helpful to address the final design.
Okay. Thank you very much. Then I have a question that addresses more or less to BTT and to Robo. When do you think that you have mentioned the cost issue repeatedly, Mr. Ziegler. When do you think that the smaller gas absorption heat pumps will be true competitors against today's standing or even wall-hung boilers? And maybe there is an add-on then to both of you, but maybe also to Mr. Pininfarina. Will it be possible to eventually design this product in a way that is small enough to provide a direct replacement for the wall-hung boiler of today?
This would be, of course, the final goal, yeah, to have such a small appliance, and even inside the house build, of course, then you need how to integrate then somehow also the renewable source. The energy, the air, for example, would then, of course, need to creep through the wall, so a tunnel is, of course, there necessary. And this is then also helpful, of course, regarding the cost development, because just per size, yeah, you would, if you lower the size, you are going in cost down. And the other, of course, where is the break even? Also, we already see today that there are use cases where obviously gas absorption heat pumps are, for cost reasons installed. So these use cases are existing, and with every euro we are going down in the cost, and that is part of the Heat for You project, of course, we will see more and more of these appliances and these good use cases for the gas absorption heat pump.
I agree with Mr. Siegel. I can add that one of the main variables which will affect the cost of the gas absorption technology today is the volume. So if we think about the possibility to design the Heat for You project for correct size, obviously, but also to provide high volume in Europe or on the markets, this will scale down the cost of the current status of the technology. And moreover, as Mr. Marco Guerra shows, this technology is based on steel as a material for the cell system and not on copper, and this is basically key factor. So the trend is in the right way. We have to work in order to design what the market will ask us and to make the investments according to the volume. If the volume will be nearly to the boilers in the next future, probably the cost will be very, very low compared to the today value.
Is there any design issue for making this particularly small? Is there any design issue for making such units especially small? Like if I look at Italian houses, the gas boilers are outside of the house, so you don't have the problem of having the heat source. But will that pose any problem from the design perspective or from your optimization perspective?
And I think that the size of the product will be definitely a problem, because to change, to make it more compact, starting from the layout that we have now, to make it smaller. But this is the challenge. The challenge of any new design product is to make something that doesn't exist. So eventually, if we will find some particular functions, we will give evidence to these functions to make the product more personal, with more image, identity, and personality. So personally, I'm not here to design a square box, not a Ferrari, but not a square box. So a product with identity and personality due to the important functionality. So this is the idea that I have, but for the moment I cannot say more, because I don't even know.
Looking forward to the drawings then.
Yes, me too. But one general question then. Do you think that if the product looks better, it will sell better?
Definitely, definitely. I think that what makes the difference at the same level of technology, at the same level of quality, is design. So this is absolutely true on the market.
And will you also...
If we also have a special technology, then that will be an outstanding success. But
we have heard that also the interface plays an important role, especially when integrating, when looking at hybrid systems. Is there any considerations, I haven't seen them in particular, so I give that question to all of you, is there any considerations for a simple design of the interface to the consumer? I know that BTT has applications for the iPhone, for smartphones already. Others are following now. Will that be a part of this project to set up something like that?
That is, I would say, our role. Our role is, beside the product specification, exactly the system integration. And in the system integration, then it is about how the components, the submodules play together, and also the HMI, the human-machine interface. And it's correct, we have first internet connections and also good designs, I hope at least, for that one. And this is also part of this project, correct?
I agree that this will be one of the key points to provide a very useful interface to the end user, to the installer, and this is one of the tasks of our partner, to collect and integrate the high potential of the gas absorption technology with the hydronics and electronics and all the, let me say, system approach for this solution.
And in selling this project and the product to not only to the end consumer but also to the politicians, do you think that there will be a competition between the electric heat pumps that you have seen quite dominating in this market and this new smaller capacity gas absorption heat pumps, or do you see them as complementary?
Yeah, also you mentioned that, what is the target market, or that you have heard different stories of motivation for the target markets, and I see there is not a conflict. For example, if in France the usage of electricity is now a problem because Germany stepped out of the nuclear plants, and then they have problems in getting it balanced, for example, in summertime, or when they have then peak loads for air conditioning, or in winter times again for their electricity-driven heat pumps. So there it is complementary, and I do not see there a competition which is then unhealthy, I would say. Yeah? It's in the beginning, at least, it is complementary. Where in the end wins, if it's purely electricity or gas, that we will see. But probably there, I'm also retired then. Huh?
From my point of view, it will depend on the application. As we see, the gas absorption technology is its features match with high delivery water temperature, so for application in residential existing building and for very cold climate situation. So maybe this segment will be the one where this technology will be able to provide good performance, and this could be one of the advantage of this technology.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that, because I'm personally rather convinced that it should be complementary, at least as long as a healthy competition has developed, because with the sales numbers that we see at the moment, it is not really a competition. What I am convinced of, however, is too that we need to work together, that both parties need to work together to show that the heat pump technology as a whole can cover nearly 100% of all applications in the European market for heating, cooling, hot water in industrial and residential cases. So maybe we can close by handing one other open question to all of you. From all the different obstacles and all the different opportunities that you have seen for this smaller gas absorption heat pump, what's the key? What is the point that you would say needs to be addressed the quickest possible to make a strong increase in sales numbers possible? Or if you want to
that is not nice to say only one.
Well, I'm asking you to pick, because we have heard so many others.
The size and the cost. Size and euro.
You? Any? No? Not the design?
No.
For me, it will be cost and noise.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. We were asked to keep the time, so we have 1 minute left. If there is one very urgent question in the audience, I will allow that, and then we close the session. Do we have a microphone back there or not? And could you please identify yourself before asking the question?
Okay, it's already. I'm Andrea Molocchi from an environmental association. It's called Friends of the Earth Italy. And I think more than a question, I would like to put a question to raise consciousness on the importance of culture in developing and selling this kind of technology. Under an environmental perspective, this technology is very, very promising. And if we look at the data that have been shown by Thomas Nowak on national renewable plans, these data are rather astonishing at my eyes, in the sense that the potential of renewable sources for heating and cooling is underestimated at the European level. If we look at these data, Italy has the highest potential in terms of renewables for heating. And this sounds to me really incredible, because heat is in the ground. Heat is not only from the sun. There is an indirect heating in the air. So heat is around us at every level of European areas. So I think there is an incredible potential in renewables for heating and cooling, and this potential should and must be captured by this technology, which has an incredible potential. So I think the most sexy message for the market is that this technology is based on energy efficient, very high energy efficiency potential, and renewables. These two messages are key messages for the market. And I think the best design is to invest in culture, in dissemination on energy efficiency. Even at the broader level, if we invest on this, heat pumps will be sold, even without speaking about which kind of heat pump, if based on electricity or if based on gas. But just talking about energy efficiency. So my question is how much this project will build on these messages.
Thank you, Andrea Malocchi. Bibi.
Okay, as we say in the previous speech, the seven frame program has a lot of part of its task on the dissemination and in the divulgation of the technology. So the main part will be the design and the optimization of the system, so the technical part, but a lot of importance has to be addressed to disseminate this culture. So I agree with these comments, and when I speak about efficiency, I mean also renewable. So if we work to improve efficiency, we work to improve renewable energy, and the effort to disseminate the culture will be one of the challenges which will be to face and solve and fix.
I absolutely agree on this. I think that this project has an outstanding potential from the cultural point of view, because we are talking about thousands of units to be installed in the residential, so a direct contact with the final consumer and with the family, in the management of the family, so changing the numbers in the life of the family. So if that changes the numbers in the life, that changes the behavior in front of all the programs, and environmental programs like 2020, those kind of things that are very, let's say, appreciated by the people, but not really understood in the pocket. So may be a very strong catalyst for the culture for the ecological culture, environmental culture in the market.
I would say also that the lobby is. It's not working. Okay. Now, that the lobby is, of course, a key topic actually if you want to introduce a new technology. Also, I totally agree, and I think Robur and all the partners, but Robur especially, who has coordinated and organized this event, this is a good start for that. Huh? Also, we are already selling something now.
Well, thank you for the question. Thank you, Mr. Bentoni. Thank you, Mr. Ziegler. Thank you, Mr. Pininfarina, for the interesting discussion. I hope it was entertaining for the audience also, and I can only thank you for playing the ball back to me, because the lobbyists, that's also us, and we have members of the Italian Heat Pump Association also in the audience, so I'm sure that we will pick up this message and bring it back to Brussels in conjunction with the other messages that we're transporting, and I'm actually sure that at the moment these messages will be heard, because we are in heavy debate on the Energy Efficiency Directive at the moment. Yes. We have done a lot of work explaining to the politicians that we need to include small-scale renewable technology into this directive in order for the member states to achieve their goals, even though this 20% target is not even indicative at the moment. So thank you very much. I hope you have a continued discussion over coffee, and we'll have a good rest of the afternoon.
Thank you also to Mr. Tom Malak.